You are correct, Sonic the Hedgehog. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Mephiles, Mephiles the Dark. What? Did you forget me? Yes, I was you from the very beginning. I was also other parts of your memory. No, she really is a part of your memories. She is the embodiment of this place, just like I said before. Ah, but you do, from another time. You see, this timeline was not meant to be. The true timeline went down a different path than this one. In another time, Dr. Eggman kidnapped Elise for his own purposes. However, his ship suffered from a malfunction which resulted in an explosion, killing them both as you helplessly watched. With the princess's passing, her life force was no longer able to contain the flames of disaster within her, and Iblis was unleashed upon the world. My goal was simple: to merge once again with Iblis using the power of the Chaos Emeralds. However, you got in my way and prevented this from happening. Despite your best efforts, you were no match for me. Then, in a last pitiful act of desperation, you forced the Chaos Emeralds to destroy themselves. That is when I ended your life, and only one Chaos Emerald remained. No matter what I attempted, one emerald was not enough power for me to do what I needed. I would never be able to fuse with Iblis now. You ruined everything. My one purpose, gone. All I could do now was watch your pitiful friends. Without you, they slowly drifted apart, never to see each other ever again, save for a few. However, I had the pleasure of witnessing other friendships end with betrayal and death. You can only imagine the pleasure I took in your friend's pain and loss. Eventually, a new generation was born, as the old one slowly and painfully died off. The new generation was ignorant of past events, so I simply bade my time, waiting for them to grow confused, frustrated, and desperate. That is when I chose to appear. They clung to every word I said, so desperate to rid themselves of Iblis. I have the power to travel through time. However, I was unable to maintain my presence within the past. But if I were to send another in my place, the fool's job was simple: kill you or distract you. It mattered little to me as long as you were kept busy, unaware of my actions. No matter the time, whether it be past, present, or future, I am all but one mind. So the eye of the past sent Shadow the Hedgehog to the future, where I confronted him, wanting him to be my new herald. The fool rejected my offer, so I attempted to end his life. He was the ultimate life form, far too powerful to let run amok. He could pose a threat to my plans. However, that plan failed, and as well as the boy from the future failed. Everything was falling apart. Taking matters into my own hands, the Eye of the Past gathered the 7 emeralds, while I, learning through Iblis, had found out just how close you and the princess had become. So, I killed you right in front of her, to beget her tears to summon forth Iblis. At long last, my goal was complete. I was Solaris. However, somehow you survived, and with the help of your friends you destroyed me. Once again my designs were shattered, and once again it was all because of you. And then you and the princess attempted to erase my existence entirely when the princess blew out the flame of disaster. However, this but opened another road, another timeline. In this new timeline, there was no Solaris, there was no Iblis, there was only me for the humans to experiment upon. Eventually, I was sealed away, and time moved on as it was supposed to. Eggman discovered the Scepter of Darkness as he originally did. But without Solaris, and without Iblis, what need did he have to stay in Soliana for? He sought to harness my power. However, he was aware just how dangerous I was, so the good doctor had some experimenting to do. The first experiment was on you of all creatures, whilst you were infused with the power of the Chaos Emeralds. Together we were used to unleash Dark Gaia. Eggman attempted to force-feed Gaia my power, in an attempt to control him as opposed to me. However, a part of my power also bonded with you, resulting in unexpected side effects, until Gaia absorbed that into himself as well. And then you destroyed him, resulting with Eggman's experiment on my power a failure. The Doctor's next experiment with me was combining me with the Hyper-Go-On energy from the Wisps. Much to my disgrace, the Doctor actually managed to tame me and control me and use me how he wanted. But then, you unwittingly released me from my prison. With my newfound freedom, my first act was to punish the foolish doctor who dared to tamper with me. So I sent him to a far-off world where no one will ever find him. Soon after, I returned to the Earth, and once I had gathered the 7 Chaos Emeralds, I set my sights upon you and your friends. In one fell swoop, I took you all. I was going to enjoy my revenge on each and every one of you, slowly, and I would savor every single moment of your despair. Especially you, Sonic the Hedgehog. Your memories will... It would be wise to kill me.
Do not mistake the fact I have allowed you to live for compassion, my former apprentice.
There is a purpose for everything in the galaxy, and a way to destroy it.
I see you remember your lessons.
You summoned me, Master?
Ah, yes, my apprentice. Come, Count Dooku, let us leave here. We have much to discuss.
Dooku.
There are many forces poised against us. To ensure our complete and total victory, we must root out and destroy all of our enemies.
You speak of enemies other than the Jedi.
I speak of that Dathomir witch, Mother Talzin.
The reports from General Grievous suggest she was killed when we invaded Dathomir.
The fact that Maul lives is proof enough that Grievous failed to destroy her. My history with the Dathomir witches goes back further than you know. Maul came to me as a child, a not-so-appreciated gift from Mother Talzin. Her spite for me runs deep, and the time has come for me to deal with her.
What would you ask of me, my lord?
Maul has used the underworld to form a base of power. Find out what you can. In the end, we shall use Maul to lead us to Talzin.
Why not simply send our armies to Dathomir?
Because such methods cannot defeat a witch that powerful. Talzin must be coaxed into the light before she is permanently snuffed out.
The Hutts have abandoned you, Maul, but Black Sun and the Pikes remain loyal. I want your resources and your sway over the black market.
You are Dooku, the Jedi betrayer. I have heard much of you since my rebirth. I expected more.
I'll ask this only once. Give me the names of your underworld leaders and the locations of your Shadow Collective bases.
Never!
Know that there is nothing you possess that I cannot take away. I hope our next conversation will be more fruitful. Status report! Level 3. Send a group of destroyers to level 7 as well. If someone is attempting to infiltrate this prison, I've a feeling that's where their real target lies.
I have become indifferent to pain.
This was your plan? Maul's ship has been tracked to the planet Zanbar. Direct your fleet there and engage him. He's had time to marshal his forces, so be prepared. Do not question the plans of my master. Remember, you must hurt Maul, but not destroy him, weaken his forces, injure his pride. Then he will do what any child would. He will cry for help.
Prime Minister Almec, I have you to thank for securing my release. Unleash the might of the Shadow Collective upon them.
The war you have waited your entire lives to fight is upon us, my brothers. Victory or death! What were his losses? Acceptable losses, General. You have done well. Maul will believe we are attempting to destroy his power base and disrupt his syndicate. He must not learn our true intentions. Yes, my master feels these attacks will draw her out into the open. All in good time, General. You will see. All in good time.
Not yours. It is not yours to give. It never was. I am the creator of the Googoplex connector. I made this. It is fortunate that you've made use of it while it was in your possession. Without the energy created when you were using it, I may have never seen it again. A Googoplex is the highest number that the known universe can be measured by. Anything above that would be unquantifiable. All possibilities that will ever come to be exist within the Googoplex. I wanted to see what exists beyond the Googoplex. Space itself is not necessarily finite, but its contents are, if one were to travel far enough. Once they'd witness all possibilities, it would all start over. The perceived universe would begin repeating itself, recycling things that exist elsewhere. You would start seeing the same things a second time. You may even meet an exact copy of yourself. That is what I made this for, to connect to my other self. Some years ago in my solar system, there was a short-lived temporal hiccup, a wormhole, that closed about a month after it appeared. We didn't learn much about it, but we did recover some of its contents, among various alien elements and antimatter.
We discovered traces of minerals identical to those found on our own planets. It couldn't be a coincidence, so using the energy-rich elements recovered from the wormhole, I built this to establish contact with my other self at the other end of the Googoplex. Of course, this could only work if my other self also happened to be creating the exact same device at the same time, and we both activated them at the exact same moment. It worked. You look like you're catching on. Yes, your other self is over there. Philaria is not like other worlds. It does not adhere to the rules of our space because it lives in its own space. I can only assume it touched the Googoplex connection as it touched you, and with you, one connector was pulled into that world, while the other, naturally, was drawn to the second you. This you. Well then, I think it is for the best that you two do not meet. You must be joking. Even after knowing what you've learned, you'd entrust your life to her. She killed you without a second thought. She'd do the same to you if she didn't know you. That is how they are. I doubt your other self could be so ready to forgive her as she devoured him. Would you, if your positions were switched? I wonder what happened to you first. Did you suffocate in her throat? Did she crush your bones? Or did your burning skin keep you awake to suffer even greater pain? Just try imagining what it must have been like, and see how much you love her then. Is it still so easy? I need this far more than you do. Do you want to know what happened when I lost the ring? Disaster! Temporal havoc for miles around. My lab was destroyed. I was lucky to survive. Many others didn't. I was banished from my world. If you've given up on your life in this world, then you may come with me. On my world, we'd be welcomed as heroes, pioneers, the people who bridged the ends of the universe together. With this technology, there is nowhere people won't be able to go. All of space, just a personal wormhole away. But I refuse to take you to that place, because it is evil. No. You fool!